It had a different name before. It was renamed Club Viva. And I can't remember what it was called. Something camp and horrendous. I remember it was on the Esplanade in Ryde. You had to go through a car park full of potholes, find the back stairs, ring a doorbell, door would open. You had to pay 50 pence to enter, and it was this sweaty, red-walled underground cavern. Like, there was no windows. The only exits were either that door that you had to press the button or through the straight club. There was the usual people, nobody my age. The DJ, he had some equipment, that was it. He was a straight guy, and I seem to remember he had like 5 CDs. ABBA Gold, Madonna Immaculate Collection, and basically you just had these same songs by these same 5 artists on all night. And this is why I still fucking hate Dancing Queen. When you've heard it like 5-6 times a night, I can't stand that bloody song now. There was definite gender segregation. It's like self-imposed. The women would be one end, and they would not talk to the men, and the men would not talk to the women, which I thought was really odd. Like, why they hated each other when they were all gay. I can't remember whether it was, maybe it was 96 that I started going there. It was all that was available, so I started going there. One time, yeah, because I was doing the Access course in 96, and there was somebody on the Access course, and I saw her at Club Viva. It wasn't her, I just thought it was her. And I started talking to her. She thought I was deliberately mistaking her for someone else. So her name was Louise Moody. At the time, she was 15 years old, and there was a couple of lesbians who were basically trying to get into Louise's pants, and she thought I was trying to rescue her. We just spent, like, that night at Club Viva, we just spent a lot of time with each other, chatting and chatting and chatting, and realized we actually got on really well. Louise became my best friend at the time. We were pretty much inseparable. We hung out together. Even though I was 21 and she was 15, we hung out together a lot. She was in a very bad place, like at home. I was living in Ryde by this point. She lived in Ryde. I think with me, she needed a gay friend. She needed somebody that she could just spend time with and feel relaxed. And so we just hung out together a lot. We started going to Club Viva together. We would drink whatever alcohol was available just to take the edge off of how nasty Club Viva was. I know at some point Louise and I travelled to London together and went to Pride. I can't remember if that was 96 or 97. You know, she was like the friend I wanted. You know, she completely accepted that I was gay. We didn't have to fear each other. We would go to Club Viva. We would dance together all night. We were just 2 young people having a really good time. Well, as good a time as we could. And we got so much shit for it. The lesbians told her to stay away from me. And I remember one guy came up to me and told me that I should ditch the fish. really disgusted me that gay men still referred to women as fish. So Louise and I just were like, fuck them. You know, we didn't care. Even there were rumors going around that Louise and I were secretly straight and that we were just pretending to be gay. Or yeah, oh, so much nasty stuff just because a man and a woman couldn't be friends in their eyes. Eventually, Louise and I started thinking, like, there's got to be something better than this for young people. Like, her experience of dealing with going to the island lesbian group and my experience going to the island gay men's group, it, you know, so cliche, so old-fashioned, nothing for young people. And Club Viva was just dreadful and old-fashioned. We just started talking and we're like, there's got to be something better. You know, somebody should be able to show young people that they don't have to conform to a cliche. And then eventually we kind of said, well, why don't we try and do it? And so we did. And we set up an organization called IGLYN, Ireland Gay and Lesbian Youth Network. We were put in contact with a guy called Andrew Benson. He was, 19, and he became the third member of the IGLYN organizers, whatever. And we had to give a presentation, like, for funding. The three of us weren't really that out. And Louise was only 15. And we were giving a presentation for funding for an organization. And we did it. Isle of Wight Samaritans offered to give us some training. Isle of Wight Gay Men's Health Project gave us some money. Somebody also said they would do our printing for us. We designed a poster and we went around the island, different places, trying to put it up. No school would let us, but I mean, if you think about it, I think Section 28 was still stalking everybody. We tried libraries. I put it up in a few doctors and some other places. And most of the time, I got some nasty comments while I was doing it, which was horrible. Like I was the oldest out of the three, but still, I was only about 21. Just negative comments, nasty looks, sneers, people ripping down the poster as soon as I'd put it up. Eventually, we got a couple of people come forward and contacted us. And then we're like, well, what are we going to do? So I suggested, why don't we do stuff that we want to do as young people? So it's like, okay, why don't we go to the cinema? A normal activity, going to the cinema, but in a context where they could just be themselves. So we did that. We did some other stuff, I can't remember what it was, but then eventually we started bringing a lot more people to Club Viva. You know, other people started coming. Suddenly there were a lot more people coming. So they decided to make it once every 2 weeks. And the number of young people there started to grow quite a bit. The music totally changed. We were playing remixes of songs, not just the radio song. And we had an absolute ban on ABBA. And then eventually I think it went to once a week, Club Viva. So I think it was the first event that became weekly. And it was because Louise and I had brought a hell of a lot of young people into the place. Got it a bit more modern, which made it more attractive for people.